Sajni here, and in this video we're going to talk about the key to faster goal achievement and how to manifest faster. Okay, so stick around till the end of the video because I'm going to give you two powerful exercises that is going to help you boost your manifestation. The formula. What is the formula or the ingredient for a goal achievement? Okay, so for the goal to achieve, we need one, the goal itself or the purpose or the desire, and second, the intention, right? So we can also clarify this in terms of the intention as the thought and the goal or the purpose as the feeling. When this is aligned, when the thought and the feelings are aligned, we move faster towards a goal. That's number one. Okay, so intention and the purpose. Okay, that's number one. Now, what ideally tends to happen is that most of us tend to have intentions, okay, to get to a goal, okay, but we also have counter intentions that defy the goal, okay, that negate the goal, okay. And what are those counter intentions? Counter intentions are those doubts and those fears that creep up, the weeds that creep up, okay. When you plant the seed in the soil, okay, nature tells us that the weeds also can grow, okay. So it's our duty to be able to be aware that the doubts and fears are there. So really, the doubts and fears are not the problem, okay. It's just that we don't know how to deal with the doubts and fears, basically, okay. So we don't, people who are lucky and people who are successful and people who keep on moving forward with unwavering intention, it's not that they don't have doubts and fears, but they know how to deal with the doubts and fears. Number one, okay, so number one, why do doubts and fears come up? Okay, it's normal to have doubts and fears, okay, but why do these creep up? So number one, the doubts and fears creep up because we are too attached to the goal or too attached to the outcome, okay. And every ancient scriptures, if you see, okay, whether it's Upanishads or Bhagavad Gita, talks about the charge or the power given to the goal rather than the purpose. Okay, we give too much of charge, okay, and that's why we become too rigid, too attached to that, and that's why we come from a place of neediness, that we need the goal rather than we want to experience the outcome. So we go with the flow or go with harmony, okay, because too much of effort, okay, makes the nature disbalance the proportion of the fulfillment, and therefore it dies down, okay, too much effort. So there has to be a balance between effort and surrender, okay. So that brings me to the point number two, okay. So the reason why doubts and fears creep up is because we are trained to be not okay with uncertainty. We want to be very controlling, okay. We want to control every step, okay. And in fact, we are so controlling because right now we see currently in our reality right now, we have our purpose and our goal, and we have the intention, the intention to move towards the goal, right? So now immediately what is there in our radar, rather than looking at what we can do right now to move towards the goal, okay, doing step 1 and step 2, we tend to look at the step 10 and burn ourselves down, okay. That's a hindrance, okay, that's a hindrance. So, and then we start to question ourselves, okay, how is it going to happen? Because right now we can see in our radar screen, we can see only that much, because the conscious mind or 2% or the 5% mind only can see that much, okay. But the 98% or the 95% or the subconscious mind has more power, okay. But because we become too controlling and too want to navigate everything, the universe has its own way of delivering the things to us. But because we become too rigid in our approach, because we want it this way or that way, because of a limited 5%, 2% conscious mind, we want to it our way, okay. We become too rigid in our way, so we block ourselves. We tend to become in our own way, okay. So our job is to set the intention, have the purpose, and see what is immediately that you are able to do at this point in time, and take one step forward with faith and clarity, okay. Now here's the difference between belief and faith, okay. Belief is something that, okay, I have done this before, so hence I can do it. So you have a belief, you have a conviction, right, because you've developed that. But faith is something, I haven't done this before, but let's see where it takes me, Okay, so that has to develop. So when faith then turns into proof and validation, then the belief also starts to form. Okay, but without the faith, there is no belief. So first is our intention is to first put the seeds of faith, have some clarity. Okay, have a clarity of mind and a pure intention of heart. Okay, that's the biggest winning formula or the ingredient that can help us achieve our goals faster. But if you align your conscious and the subconscious mind and make it aligned in a way that things starts to give you internally, the insight starts to come, certain things starts to align. You make the effort and the surrender a sweet spot, a combination of the two, right? And focus on one thing at a time. Step 1, then step 2, then step 3. Okay, rather than jumping the gun and then draining ourselves of what is the step 10, how, when. Okay, so these are the creepers or the doubts or the fears which kill the seed. And that's why what happens is that you take 2 steps forward here and then 2 steps backwards here, because you go with gusto. Okay, you go with great energy here. Okay, that I need to fulfill this goal, I want to go. But then you spiral down and then you come back here, which negates 0, because your weeds are more powerful, or rather your excitement gets negated by the fears and doubts as well. So there is a counter intention. So there's intention and counter intention, and therefore the resistance, and therefore you are back where you started. Okay, so our intention is therefore to start, okay, to start with the same gusto. Okay, and even if we have minor challenges or hurdles, okay, we take that very we put a positive meaning, positive intention, take the ideas or actions or lessons that we need to take from there, and then fuel that to add to our goal. Okay, and then move forward again. Okay, and then you will see another challenge again, or you'll see some results. So your effort is to, your work is to focus on what are some of the results that are happening, and take some of the things that are not happening well, look at those, what are the lessons that you can take from there, and fuel it to the goal. Okay, and then it accelerates. Okay, so this is the ideal graph that we want to get to. Okay, now let's get to the 2 powerful exercises that can help you with this exercise, with this goal manifestation. Okay, number 1 is, like I said, if you have a pure heart and a clear mind, okay, clarity of why you want it and what you want it, okay, the how begins to open itself slowly. Okay, right now the conscious mind can see only a slight arena. Okay, it can see only very slightly. Okay, so with that, if you can only see a bit of hope, okay, at this point in time, you can't see everything. Okay, you can see only till a particular horizon. So your job is to take that foot forward and see the terrain. Okay, and then what is the next thing that you need to do? Okay, what is the next thing that you need to do? Take the step 2, then take the step 2 forward. Okay, then see what is the terrain. Okay, then take the step 3. Okay, rather than in step 1 trying to see step 10, which you can't see. Okay, you have to give some of the order to your subconscious mind as well, to give you certain prompts. The universe has its way of delivering the goal to you, so you have to have that faith developed within you that whatever I intend will be delivered to me with unwavering intention. Okay, that is the idea. Then when you start seeing certain proofs, okay, then you start to show your mind the proof. Okay, so the fourth is the clarity and the faith. Okay, the second is the system. Okay, you need to build a system. Basically, like I said, having silence will help you give a lot of clarity. Okay, because if your mind is too cluttered, okay, with the doubts and fears and trying to overburden yourself with too much of effort, okay, then you will not be able to see even the opportunities that are lying in front of you to be able to make it effortless for you to achieve that goal. Okay, so you need to be a little bit step back, okay, and see, watch what is there for you. Okay, step back, be open to all opportunities. You can't be rigid that this is the only way, because the universe works in from the path of least resistance, that we can't even, our conscious 5% mind can't think of it. Okay, this is the power. This is where the prompts come from, and this is where, if you're magnetic, if you're open, this is what pulls the experience or the manifestation faster. So you have to rely on that too. Okay, we are people in the Newtonian, we work with the Newtonian way rather the quantum way. The quantum way is a faster, effortless way. Silence will help you. Number one, we're building the system to make ourselves magnetic or make ourselves power up our manifestation, power up our goal achievement is the mind first. Like the ingredient number one for manifestation, like we talked about in previous videos, if you haven't, you can check it out, is your brain, your system, right? So you have to give the soil the conducive environment for the seed to grow. If the soil is corrupt, if the soil is rigid, okay, how can you plant the seed inside the soil? Okay, the soil doesn't have the water, doesn't have the conducive environment, doesn't have the peace, doesn't have the the right brain waves. Okay, too much of activity. Okay, it's like a thunder lightning in the sky. Then it will not make it happen. So then it just kind of like dies down. So second is your internal system. Now we go to the external system. So external system is, what are some other things? Probably you might want to do a reading. Let's say, for example, you want to become an entrepreneur. Okay, you start reading on those subjects that aligns with you or that you are interested in. Okay, maybe you want to become a fitness coach. Okay, and you're you want to become an entrepreneur, and you start reading on those aspects of health, fitness, whatever aligns with you, whatever the purpose is here. Okay, so you start reading, you start journaling. So that helps you maintain a balance between your internal system and your external system. So you are not just disbalancing. There's no disharmony. Okay, in Upanishads and this Bhagavad Gita, they say the sattvic mind, right? The balance, the harmony. If the harmony is here, if you give the right energy, conducive energy, because the energy is high when you do something that aligns with your passion, right? So automatically, nobody can force you, nobody has to force you to do that. You automatically do that because it comes from within. And the more you do something which fills your heart or which fills your passion, the more energy or the more output you can get, right? So that's the reading, okay? And then the system is that, again, once you start getting some fruits of the results, okay, then you start showing the proof to your mind, because now you are training your mind to show that now from the faith you're building the belief, okay, because now we haven't seen the results yet, okay, so now from that faith we're building some belief as to, okay, see, we are on the right track, okay. It's very, very important to show your mind, okay, otherwise it's the doubts and the fears will creep and will win, and then you'll go back to zero again, okay. So with that, I conclude the video. So let's do a quick recap of what we've discussed so far, okay. So first we've discussed the goal achievement. One, of course, your purpose of the goal is there. Second is the intention, okay. But when we have the intention, sometimes you also have the counter intentions, okay, and that's what negates the whole cycle of our goal achievement. So we go 2 steps forwards and then 2 steps backwards, because the doubts and fears kind of creep in. And why do we have doubts and fears? We have doubts and fears because we are too rigid in a way. We are too controlling in our ways. We become too skeptical. Our skeptical, analytical mind gets too heightened. Okay, while we do not have the faith or the poise to rest on our inner conviction. Okay, that is inner subconscious mind, scientifically, if you were to say it, right? And so we haven't built a muscle of faith, okay, and trust. And also the commitment, okay, because we have to give the commitment, because if we are not committed, then the subconscious mind gets the nature of your feeling, because the subconscious mind reads feelings and the nature of how your internal system is happening. Okay, it reads from there. Every small little impulse, every small little feeling, everything is being read by the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is like a silent watcher. Okay, it watches every move, watches every thought, watches every feeling. Okay, so the more you give the good feeling of, the power up your emotions. That's why the thoughts and the feelings, when they align, okay, when you're moving, then the movement happens from the path of least resistance, and the subconscious mind makes it effortless because it knows how to deliver you to that goal. Okay, so balancing between doing and being, balancing between effort and surrender. That is a key formula here. Okay, so I sincerely hope this video was helpful. If you're new to the channel, do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that little bell icon. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Until next time.